If you have found your way to this message, it is no coincidence. Your guardian angels have orchestrated this moment, drawing you here because they have something profound and deeply important to share with you. The divine realm is stirring with activity around your life, and the angels want you to know about a significant shift occurring in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding someone from your past. There is a person who once held a place in your world, someone who left an indelible mark on your heart through their actions and choices. This individual engaged in emotional games that left you wounded and questioning your worth. They played with the sacred trust you offered them, treating your genuine feelings as if they were mere playthings in their hands. But the cosmic scales of justice are never static, and what was once imbalanced is now finding its equilibrium. The angels are revealing to you that this person is now experiencing the full weight of the consequences that their actions have set in motion. The pain they so carelessly inflicted upon you has come full circle, returning to them with the same intensity they once directed toward you. This is not about revenge or vindication, but rather about the natural law of cause and effect that governs our universe. Every action creates ripples that eventually return to their source, and those ripples have now reached their shore. Throughout your life's journey, you have demonstrated remarkable resilience and strength. You have weathered storms that would have broken lesser souls, and you have emerged from each trial more refined and wise than before. You have tasted the bitter cup of heartbreak, and you know intimately the ache that comes when someone you trusted decides to shatter the very foundation of love you built together. Among all the experiences that have shaped you, one particular relationship stands out with vivid clarity in your memory. This person understood exactly how to push your emotional buttons, how to make you question yourself, and how to keep you in a state of uncertainty about where you stood with them. They mastered the art of emotional manipulation, giving you just enough attention to keep you hoping while simultaneously pulling away whenever you tried to get closer. Now, as if the universe itself has stepped in to restore balance, this individual is experiencing first and the very emotions they once caused you to feel. The sting of rejection, the confusion of mixed signals, the pain of being treated as if your feelings don't matter. All of these sensations are now their daily companions. The cosmic wheel has turned, and they find themselves on the receiving end of the very treatment they once so thoughtlessly dispensed. This person made the conscious choice to discard your relationship, prioritizing their own selfish desires over the beautiful connection you had built together. They found your deep, authentic love to be overwhelming and intimidating, because they simply weren't mature enough to recognize the rare gift that was being offered to them. Your love was too pure, too genuine, too intense for someone who was comfortable with superficial connections and emotional games. You became the sunshine in their otherwise ordinary existence. You were the first thought that graced their mind each morning as consciousness returned, and the last image that danced behind their closed eyelids each night. They couldn't help but be drawn to your light, even as they simultaneously feared the depth of emotion you represented. Who could blame them for being captivated? You are a truly remarkable soul, possessing a heart that beats with genuine gold. While you may look in the mirror and see imperfections, flaws, and areas where you believe you fall short, to them you represented everything they thought they could never be. You were perfection walking in human form, a living embodiment of the love they had always craved but never believed they deserved. Your natural selflessness and boundless kindness created a stark contrast to their own internal landscape. They felt small and inadequate when measured against your generous spirit. Your very presence reminded them of their own shortcomings, their own inability to love with the same purity and intensity that flowed so effortlessly from your being. This discomfort grew into a cancer within their soul, eating away at their peace until they could no longer bear to be in your radiant presence. Their guilt and deep-seated insecurity became the wedge that ultimately drove you apart. They couldn't reconcile their image of themselves with the image you reflected back to them. Instead of rising to meet your love with matching devotion, they chose the easier path of destruction. They decided it was better to tear down what you had built together than to do the inner work necessary to become worthy of such a precious gift. But their elaborate excuses and self-serving justifications cannot erase the very real pain they caused you. They cannot undo the nights you spent questioning your worth, the days you wondered what you had done wrong, or the moments when you felt as though your heart might never recover from the wounds they inflicted. Their reasons, no matter how complex or seemingly logical, do not diminish the validity of your suffering. In the quiet hours of their current existence, they are finally being forced to confront the truth of their actions. They can no longer hide behind their rationalizations or distract themselves from the reality of what they destroyed. The waves of regret are crashing over them with relentless persistence, each one carrying with it a memory of your kindness that they trampled, your trust that they betrayed, your love that they discarded like yesterday's newspaper. They remember now, with crystal clarity, how they manipulated your genuine emotions for their own temporary entertainment. They recall the moments when they deliberately misled you, when they made promises they had no intention of keeping, when they strung you along simply because they enjoyed the feeling of having someone so wonderful wanting them. The weight of these memories has become their constant companion, a burden they cannot set down no matter how desperately they wish to be free of it. This person who once carelessly toyed with your emotions now finds themselves consumed with an overwhelming desire for your forgiveness. Their mind has become a prison of what-if scenarios and painful realizations. What if they had appreciated the unwavering support you offered so freely? What if they had recognized the rarity of finding someone who loved them not for what they could provide, but simply for who they were? What if they had possessed the emotional maturity to receive your love with the gratitude and reverence it deserved? The burden of their regrets has become almost unbearable, pressing down on their spirit with increasing weight as each day passes. They are desperate for absolution, for some way to lighten the load they now carry. They want to reach out to you, to pour out their heart in a torrent of apologies and explanations. They want you to know that they are suffering too, that they have learned the hard way what it feels like to be on the receiving end of karmic justice. Their desire to apologize isn't born from a wish to escape the consequences of their actions. They understand that some things cannot be undone, that some wounds leave permanent scars. Instead, their longing comes from a genuine recognition of the pain they inflicted, and a deep need to acknowledge the wrong they committed against someone who deserved so much better. With each passing day, their understanding of the hurt they caused you grows deeper and more profound. They are beginning to comprehend the full scope of the damage they inflicted, not just in the moment of their betrayal, but in all the moments that followed. They remember now how they tried to diminish your character, how they attempted to make others believe that you were the problem, how they played with your heart as if it were nothing more than a toy designed for their amusement. Karma has indeed caught up with them, and they find themselves trapped in a corner built from their own choices. The walls are made of regret, the foundation is remorse, and the roof is constructed from the solitude that comes when you've burned too many bridges to count. In this space, they are forced to sit with their actions, to really examine what they did and why they did it, without the distractions they once used to avoid such uncomfortable self-reflection. They know with absolute certainty that they cannot travel back in time to undo their mistakes. The past is written in stone, unchangeable and permanent, but they find themselves dreaming about the possibility of somehow making amends for the future, of finding a way to transform the pain they caused into something healing and redemptive. In their most vulnerable moments, they allow themselves to imagine a future where they have paid their dues, where they have done the hard work of genuine transformation, where they have somehow earned the right to approach you with sincere remorse and authentic change. They envision a version of tomorrow where you have found it in your magnificent heart to offer them forgiveness, not because they deserve it, but because you are generous enough to give it anyway. They dream of proving that they have learned and grown from their past mistakes, that they are no longer the emotionally immature person who was so threatened by real love that they had to destroy it. In this hopeful future they imagine, they see themselves working to rebuild the bridges they so carelessly burned, showing you through consistent actions rather than empty words that they have become someone capable of treasuring what you offer instead of trampling it underfoot. But here is what your guardian angels want you to understand above all else. What happens next is entirely up to you. This insight they have shared is not meant to pressure you toward any particular course of action. It is simply information offered in love to help you make whatever decision feels most aligned with your highest good. You are not obligated to forgive them, just as you are not forbidden from doing so. You are not required to give them another chance, just as you are not wrong if you choose to do so. Your guardian angels are not advocating for reconciliation or separation. They are simply ensuring that you have all the information you need to make a choice that serves your soul's greatest evolution. The power in this situation rests entirely with you. You are the one in control, not them. Their remorse, their regrets, their desire for forgiveness, all of these things are secondary to your own well-being and peace of mind. Should they find the courage to reach out to you, should they attempt to re-enter your life in any capacity, you have every right to respond in whatever way feels most true to your heart. You have built a beautiful life since they departed from it. You have cultivated happiness and contentment that exists independently of their presence or absence. The joy you have created, the peace you have found, the love you have learned to give yourself, none of these things can be disrupted by their actions, past or future, unless you give them permission to do so. You are no longer the same person you were when they left you wounded and wondering. You have grown stronger, more resilient, infinitely wiser. You have learned the invaluable lesson of loving and respecting yourself, of knowing your worth, and of refusing to accept treatment that falls short of what you deserve. You have discovered how to surround yourself with positivity and kindness, with people who value you for exactly who you are rather than trying to change you into someone else. If they attempt to step back into your world, you are under no obligation to alter anything about the life you have so carefully constructed. Your happiness is your own creation, independent of their presence, and it remains yours regardless of their regrets or their apologies. They cannot and will not disrupt the stability you have built unless you consciously choose to allow them to do so, and if you do choose to allow them back in, that is perfectly acceptable too. You are allowed to accept their apologies if they offer them. You are allowed to forgive them if forgiveness feels right to you. You are allowed to consider rebuilding some form of relationship if that possibility calls to your heart. But these choices should only be made if they truly serve your peace, your happiness, and your future growth. Remember always that you hold all the power here. The control over your life and your future rests firmly in your capable hands, not in theirs. Their remorse, whether genuine or performed, their desire to make amends, their hope for forgiveness, all of it is secondary to your well-being and peace of mind. You are divinely protected by the universe itself, surrounded by people who love and respect you for who you truly are. You are strong beyond measure, capable of handling whatever comes your way, and deserving of only the very best that life has to offer. Your future is filled with infinite possibilities and beautiful new beginnings, and you possess the wisdom and strength to make choices that serve your highest good, whether those choices involve this person from your past or not. So breathe easily, dear soul, knowing that whatever unfolds in the days ahead, you are in complete control. You will make the best decision for yourself because you have learned to trust your inner wisdom and to prioritize your own well-being. The angels are with you, supporting you, guiding you toward whatever path will bring you the greatest joy and fulfillment. Let us close with a prayer for your continued journey. Divine Creator, may your infinite love and guidance continue to illuminate the path for this precious soul. Grant them unwavering strength to navigate through any memories of past hurt that may arise, crystal, clear wisdom to understand their immeasurable worth, and perfect peace to know that the past actions of others hold no power to define their glorious future. Encourage them to trust completely in their unique journey, cherishing the deep self, love and respect they have cultivated within themselves, and the beautiful relationships they have attracted around themselves. In the midst of any decisions or uncertainties that may come, let their heart remain completely undisturbed, radiating the divine tranquility they have discovered through their trials and growth. Bless them abundantly with the courage to make choices that serve their highest good and greatest joy. As they embrace their past with forgiveness, their present with gratitude, and their future with hope, continue to surround them with your boundless love and protection. May they always remember that they are cherished, valued, and worthy of every beautiful thing life has to offer. Amen. If this message resonates with your heart and soul, if you feel the truth of these words settling into your spirit, type 333 to claim this message and all the blessings it contains for your own life. Allow the angels to know that you have received their communication and that you are ready to step forward into whatever beautiful future awaits you.